Alright, so there's a few videos on YouTube that show how you remove the valve cover on a Fiat 500. One of them in particular, do not listen to. It is utter junk. He's talking about engine mount, whole valve cover timing, the whole like intake thing, even though this is the intake, I don't know, whatever the hell this thing's called. Removing that, going in from this angle, that angle, you have to remove this. No, 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 no. Junk. Utter junk. Do not listen to that video. I don't know the channel name, but it's just some dude. Don't listen to it. There's two good videos out there. One of them's a YouTube short, and the other one is a little too long. So just for a quick explanation, real quick, I know I'm missing that bolt and the one that goes in there. I misplaced them, can't find them, so I'm actually getting two new ones today. So anyways, to remove the valve cover, all right, pretty easy actually. It's just that 1 8 8 8 8, the 8 right there, the 8 8 8 8 8 8, and there's one right there. I believe there's 10 of them total. And again, don't forget about that one. There's a 10 mil that runs right in hold on, right here where you see that little bump right there. That's a bolt coming in right on the top of the valve cover gasket. I mean, not the gasket. I'm going to say that a lot, but that's not what I mean. It's right there, that 10 mil. It's right there. My thing right here is already broken, but you just move that aside, move it left, right, whatever. Get in right there. Take that out. Take out these two 10 mils right here. This 10 mil. This one you can put back in so you don't lose it. That's just for like a ground. You don't need to remove the vacuum pump. So these two bolts right there, right here, and right here, you don't need to remove. You do have to remove this 10 mil right here, and then there's it's connected. If you remove the PCV air oil separator assembly, which is this 10, that 10, and this 10, if you remove those and you just lift that up right there, you'll see that on this metal support bar, there's another 10 right behind under this. That is it's a nut. It's not a bolt. You have to back that out and back this out because the valve cover has a stem sticking out that the nut goes on to hold this bracket. So to pull this off, you do need to just set that over. It's not that hard. So you have 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, maybe like 3 of them plus that one and then the nut. And then that one, so less than 10 with a 10 mil. Another one right there, actually, but you don't need to actually remove that. They come out with the valve cover if you want. And then you have the 10s connecting the coils to the plugs, and then a bunch of 8s. To do this job, all you need is an 8 mil socket and a 10 mil socket. You do not need a wrench. You do not need really anything else, actually. I mean, you do need like a flathead just to get these two just loosened so you can pop it off. You actually don't need to loosen that one. You just need to loosen this one, pop that one off, these 3 bolts, and then lift that up. Also, if you have a lot of oil, if you have a lot of fresh oil right over there and all around this part of the engine, the top of the engine, where the air fuel separator right here, where it connects to the valve cover, there's a little gasket in there. Mine was bad, so I actually had to replace that. And this cylinder was flooded with oil, and a few of them had way too much oil in them, so I needed to do the spark plug tube gaskets. So that's why I removed my valve cover. My valve cover wasn't leaking, but I mean, why would you? If you remove the valve cover to do that, you're doing the valve cover. So it's, you know, kind of one of those things. You do this, you have to do that thing. So that's what I did, cleaned it up. You can see how dirty the bottom of the engine is. The entire valve cover looked like that before I started spraying it. I used like an entire can like carb cleaner on it, which is a little bit softer than brake clean, so it works fine. It's like $4. You clean it up. Pretty easy. You do not need to remove the timing belt cover. You do not need to remove the vacuum pump. You do need, when you remove this 10 mil right here, I'll show you. I actually kept the bolt. It's thread locked, has thread lock on it. Just, discard that. You don't need that. Back that out. You don't need to remove this whole assembly. You freaking don't. The guy on YouTube that has you removing the motor mount, this whole thing coming in from here, there, you don't need to freaking do that, man. You just remove that 10 mil, snap this thing off like everyone else that does this at home. Snap that off because it does come over and cover right here. So if you try pulling out the valve cover gasket, it's in the way. Snap that off, you're good. Also, there is this thing, this little weird, it doesn't do anything, piece of plastic that actually goes between these two plugs under this, and the bolts are like right under here. You can't see them, but there's two bolts for it. It does nothing. It just keeps the wires that already are not going to touch the valve cover, keeps them from touching the valve cover. You don't freaking need it. That will get in your way as well. So when you remove these two and you lift this up with the plugs for the coils, you might need to pop off this one, which is pretty easy. Bring the yellow up, slide it off, pretty easy. There's actually a tab right here, a little black tab. Pull that out, pull this up, pop that, and then you can get this out of the way. It's a pain to get the valve cover off with that still just in there loose, and you can't really pull it out because of the wires. So just lift that up, release that one a little bit, take this junk, take that out. Pretty easy. I did the whole job in like less than an hour. It's not that complicated. Do not overdo it.